Horse at least 400 pounds underweight, seized from a farm and brought to a local shelter.
Animals are seized by law enforcement in Vermont every year and taken to a safe place. Channel 3's Melissa Cooney joins us live in studio with what just happened in Addison County.
Alexandra and Alyssa, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm told veterinarians ranked these two horses at a 1 and a 2. A 3 and below is considered a case of starvation. Merrymac Farm Sanctuary in Charlotte has participated in more and more intakes as they're able as time goes on. I checked in with them and the animal control in Leicester about these types of situations and the processes behind it. Romeo and Honey are eating in their new home at Merrymac Farm Sanctuary in Charlotte, but they were in much worse condition when they first arrived 2 weeks ago.
That needed to be taken in due to starvation. They have probably one of the worst starvation cases for Honey that the vets have seen.
Leicester Animal Control, with the help of the Addison County Sheriff, seized the horses and brought them here. Director Erin McDonald and her team are helping them improve, but it's a tumultuous process because of how vulnerable the horses are.
Any kind of refeeding has to be done extraordinarily slow. It's just like any other kind of starving animal or human. The refeeding process is slow and meticulous.
Leicester and Salisbury Animal Control Officer Robbie Devoid says he's unable to comment on the specifics of Romeo and Honey's case because it's still under investigation. But he says this is the only seizure of this kind he's been involved in since he was appointed in October. In general, Devoid says he steps in after hearing from the community and approaches his preliminary investigations with an open mind.
You know, we have a handbook that was given to me that I can use as a resource, but, you know, I hop online, I get on the Vermont Statutes website, I read, I educate, I understand the situations. And if I have a question, as I would hope other ACOs do, they reach out to their local law enforcement.
Some municipalities in Vermont have police acting as animal control. Others, like Leicester, have appointed or volunteer positions. Devoid says seizure cases are complicated. He has to coordinate law enforcement and game wardens, talk with community members, and figure out which sanctuaries or shelters have availability.
I've had to kind of generate my network from the ground up because I didn't have a lot to start with. And networking is a big thing in this particular position because you have to have a backup. You have to have a plan B.
Back at Merrymac, McDonald says they've taken in dozens of animals over the years, ranging from horses to goats to pigs. She says they had space this time, but that's not always the case for every situation, especially if it isn't clear to officials where the animals could go. Her concern, surrenders like this are only going to happen more.
Had hay prices going up, grain prices going up. Lots of people got animals during COVID, and we're seeing an increase in animals needing homes. So we need to make sure that we have availability for helping those people, but also availability to placing animals that need placement.
And the Sheriff's Department says a deputy has begun to review the information from Devoid, but they aren't able to comment on the investigation either. Live in the studio, Melissa Cooney, Channel 3 This Morning.